So I was working in the gym, just doing the same thing. I wanted more, but I didn't know how to take that next step. 6 months later, I've doubled my income, learned a completely new skill set, which has opened so many doors. If you're thinking about it, if you're on the fence, just do it. The best thing that I did was take that risk and back myself.
All right, so Seb, introduce yourself.
So I'm Seb. I was working a regular 9 to 5 in the gym, just dirty, grim work, and now I'm in remote sales. It's been the best decision of my life, to be honest.
So let's talk about some wins, because this is stuff that people want to
Yeah.
hear. What's some of the highlight moments? I mean, one to bring up the other day, $450 in 45 minutes.
That's definitely one of the biggest wins recently.
How did that feel when that came in?
Unreal, to be honest with you.
450 in 45 minutes. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, talking about money as well. Like you said to me, you've now doubled what you was earning in your 9 to 5.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
It gives me that freedom to not have to worry about paying things anymore, living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And people say money doesn't bring happiness, but it definitely does to an extent. It
100%.
makes things easier. You can look after the people that are close to you, and that's what brings the true happiness.
Fulfilling. Take us back a bit. What was happening before, obviously, you joined Growth Block?
So I was just repeating the same old cycle, working jobs for somebody else in a company where I didn't see a future. And I was always intrigued by online money and remote earning. I just didn't know how to get into it.
When you obviously saw everything that we was doing, there was a bit of a time where you had a bit of hesitation and you didn't take that jump at first. Talk us through that.
I wanted to take that jump. I was just held back by fear and other circumstances in my personal life at that time. Something just flipped and I just wanted to take that action and take the leap.
Do you remember what that flip was for you?
I finished my last relationship and I could really focus on myself, self-improvement, and I just wanted to completely try something new. Even if I failed, I at least gave it a shot.
And what made you want to get out of what you was doing in the first place? Because a lot of people, they stay in the 9 to 5, right? Even if they have that flip, that switch, you know, they get comfortable, they stay where they're at. So what made you want to take that jump out of it?
The main jump was definitely the idea of freedom. There's one thing earning good cash, good money, but if you can't go anywhere, can't do anything, experience the world, then what's the point really?
100%. So then, of course, you took that jump, which congratulations, bro. You know, a
Thank
lot
you,
of
bro.
people don't do. So let's talk about that. We obviously got on a call. We got you all signed up into Growth Block. How was those first few weeks getting into it? What was sort of your feelings, everything like that?
Yeah, so the first few weeks was definitely scary because it wasn't something I was comfortable with. I had no idea where to start. I was just throwing myself head first and I had no real plan apart from the guiding blocks that you guys created for me, showed up to the calls little by little, 1% better every single day. And over time, those wins just kept stacking and stacking. Things started moving together into place and
Compounds over time,
yeah,
right?
exactly, compounds over time.
You know, on this journey, your journey especially, but with most people's journeys, I often see there's a switch and it's sort of different levels that they kind of unlock. And, you know, you had that first level of fear of taking that jump and you got over that, you know, and you succeeded, you joined the group. And then you had another switch as well, because I think you was in the group for about a month and you were still working your job, right? You was balancing the two, you know, you was doing really well. And then something unfortunate happened.
One day, I lost my job. I was like, I've got two options. I either go back to another job that I hate and repeat the same cycle, or I say, stuff it and go all in. And that's what I did.
You went all in. And that is when everything changed, I'd say.
Massively.
How did it feel earning that first check, seeing it come through?
It was kind of surreal, to be honest with you, because it really opens your eyes as to what's actually possible. And if you move the chess pieces and put yourself in those positions to create those opportunities, there's so much opportunity out there to make online money.
100%. And I remember something that you openly said to me on one of our group meetings was, since getting into the world, you didn't realize how many opportunities are out there till you put that energy out there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a huge switch that a lot of people have, is like, when they're actually going all in, they're surrounding themselves, they start to then see a lot more actually around them. Talk to me a bit more about sort of what your day-to-day looks like now compared to what it was working a 9 to 5.
Wow, my day to day now is definitely a lot more relaxed. I still have a good routine. I get up relatively early in the morning, but I'm not capped by having to be at work for 8 a.m. on the dot. So it allows for flexibility.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably one of the biggest perks because you can go out in the morning, do a couple of things, do some errands, whatever, then come back, hit the DMs, and you kind of just start your day when you like.
Yeah, yeah. Now you get to choose when you get to go to the gym,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Whenever you want to go. I
Exactly.
mean, this month as well, you've been traveling all over England.
Oh, bro, yeah, I don't. So I've been down to Cornwall, up to Manchester. Now I'm back in London 48 hours later.
Down to Devon
Yeah,
next.
down to Devon.
All over the place. But, you know, working in the gym, you wouldn't have been able to have done
no,
that, right?
No way. Having to write my little slip for annual leave. None of that anymore.
How do you feel now that you've made the decision? You know, what's been the biggest change for you, would you say, personally in your life?
The biggest change for me personally has been the mindset. And I think the mindset of going from it is possible and I can do these things and I can be an outcast in a way, because you have to be delusional to a point to actually get anywhere that you want to go.
100%. And something you kept saying about was the mindset shift, right? So if you look at the Seb when we first spoke on that first call, right, taking it back to his mindset, like you said, scared to take the risk, comfortable with what he's doing, but wants to get to the other side, but not ready. What would you say to that person now, being in the mindset and doing what you've experienced up until this point, making that jump?
You've just got to grab the opportunity by the horns and go for it. Life is too short. Yes, it's going to be scary. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable, but nothing in life comes easy, basically.
100%. For you, obviously going through the route that you've been through, obviously having Growth Block there, what were sort of the key aspects that you feel really helped you, you know, excel in this journey?
The thing that made me excel the most was definitely the group calls.
Yeah.
The amount of value in those, because you get live feedback. You don't have to wait for a video. You don't have to wait for a response from someone in like texting. It's live feedback, constructive criticism, and it just improves you every single day.
100%. And I've got to give Seb his props. Seb has literally showed up. I think if there was a stat, I'd have to get it up. I could probably find it. But he's been at near enough every single group call. You didn't miss one beat. And that just shows, right? You're doing really well now because you showed up to every single meeting. Even when you couldn't show up, you'd send me a message like, hey, I just watched the recording back. I have a question about this or about this. Like, you consistently showed up and you wanted to make that change. Who do you feel Growth Block is perfect for and this journey of remote sales?
Perfect for the people that are happy where they are, but they've always wanted more, but they don't know how to take that next step, which was the exact position I was in. And you've got to allow yourself to be so coachable that you can learn anything with enough repetition and the opportunities that are presented to you. If you just show up, and even if it's once or twice a week.
And also something to touch on as well is you had no background sales experience.
Yeah.
You had no background sales experience at all.
No.
You know, and that just shows that in this space, if you put in the right consistency, like you said, you put in the hard work, you can learn the skill to a very high level with the right guidance and earn the money that you're earning and do the things that you're doing.
Yeah,
right? You
massively.
just need the discipline and the right guidance to do exactly that, you know, and you've proved that. Anything you want to say to them before we wrap up?
If you're thinking about it, if you're on the fence, just do it, because believe me, it will be the best shift you make.